Hello again. So, we were saying that I wanted to show you that this verb, haber, we can see that it begins with letter H. Letter H, A, B, E, R. However, when we read it, we say haber, right? We don't say chaber or haber. That's because in Spanish, letter H is totally mute. So, we don't pronounce the H. We only pronounce haber. Not even like in the smooth, soft sound in English or German, where H is right? In Spanish, H is totally neutral, it's invisible. So, this you would read haber. When is H pronounced with a sound? Only when it is combined with letter C, same as in English. CH is ch, right? So, let's read this again. These four verbs are probably the most important verbs in Spanish. Ser, estar, haber, and tener. Ser and estar correspond to the English verb to be, and haber and tener correspond to the English verb to have. Right now, we won't learn how to conjugate verbs. We will do that in a more advanced lesson. However, I want to give you an example just for you to see why we need to use a different verb depending on which usage of the verb to be in English. So, for example, if I want to indicate a state or a feeling, right? Like, I am happy, right? I am happy. I am happy. In Spanish, the word for happy could be feliz or contento. Let's use feliz. Feliz would be happy. I would say, yo, first person, yes? Yo estoy contento. Sorry, yo estoy feliz. I am happy. Yo estoy feliz. You can see, estoy is an irregular conjugation of verb estar. Let's forget that because we will not learn how to conjugate. Just I want to show you that now we have to use verb estar. Now I'll give you another example with verb to be. Something that does not refer to a state, but something more permanent. Let's see. My name is Rodrigo. I will say, I am Rodrigo, right? In Spanish, we would say, yo soy Rodrigo. So we use again an irregular verb. This time it's verb ser, right? You say, yo soy Rodrigo. So, for the same verb to be, we have to use either verb ser or verb estar, depending on what use. Now I'll give you the same kind of example for verbs haber and tener that correspond with the English verb to have. Let me think. If we want to say, I have a pen. In Spanish, we would say yo, because I is yo. Yo tengo un bolígrafo. Pen is bolígrafo. So, pen, bolígrafo. Un is just the article, indeterminate article. Let's leave that for now. Yo tengo un bolígrafo. I use the verb tener. I have a pen. Yo tengo un bolígrafo. Again, it's an irregular verb, so it's more difficult. Now, I will use the verb to have again, but in a different situation. Let me say now, let's use verb to have, but this time to have in its auxiliary form, right? I have made, right? So verb to have is used just as an auxiliary verb. I have made. In Spanish, made is hacer, hacer, right? Another irregular verb that would conjugate to hecho. So, I have made would be yo he hecho, right? Yo is I, he would be the auxiliary form of verb to have, but in Spanish, hecho, made. However, with e corresponds not this time to verb tener, but to verb haber, right? So, in Spanish, the auxiliary verb is verb haber. Let's write A-U-X. This is the Spanish auxiliary verb. Yes? So, you can see verb to have in Spanish translates as verb tener or verb haber. When you're talking about the auxiliary verb, in Spanish it's verb haber. When you're talking about I have something, in Spanish it is tener, verb tener. Yes? I have a pen. Yo tengo un bolígrafo. So, later we will review this again and I'll show you how to conjugate these verbs. Now I just want to show you a little bit of basic and essential vocabulary that will be useful for the next lessons. Of course, what can be more useful as for vocabulary than learning how to say yes and no? In Spanish, the word for yes is sí. The word for no is no. I guess you know that already. So it would be sí, no. You can see that in Spanish the vowels are very short sounds. It's not long sound like in English. It's not A, right? It's not I, O, U. No, it's very short and dry. It's A, E, I, O, U. You see? Very short and dry. So this would be sí. This would be no. Okay? Well, that's enough for today. This was our second lesson. If you like these lessons and if you find them useful, please refer them to some of your friends. And also, if you want to receive an email every time I add new videos, please subscribe to my webpage, right? And